My name is Annalisa Filion, and this project on the implementation plan for the 21st century classroom is based on my reflection on my role as an educator through the eyes of a philosopher, ideologist, and pragmatic. Reflecting on the topic of education and my role as an educator motivated me to revisit the 3 driving principles that influence my personal decisions on a daily basis. The importance of a strong work ethic, the necessity to focus on my education, and the responsibility of helping others who are less fortunate. These driving principles help shape my goals as an educator. Part 1. The Philosopher. My role as an educator is to motivate my students to become lifelong learners who have the 21st century skills necessary to be competitive in their future academic and professional careers. This is accomplished through sharing my love of learning and the skills to learn well. In addition to helping my students master the subject content, I support them with learning how to navigate responsibly through the endless amounts of information available to them at their fingertips, which also includes how to evaluate the credibility of their sources and how to organize and communicate their research results in a clear and concise manner. I share with them my passion for being a lifelong learner. My students are routinely reminded about my love for the Oxford comma, grammar, and literature. They also have a front row view of my attempts to successfully, and even sometimes unsuccessfully, integrate new technology into the classroom, and they're also aware of my high interest in learning how to code and use Minecraft. My experience with integrating technology into the classroom has been very humbling. Once I was able to let go of the teacher-centered learning model I grew up with, I developed the courage to allow my students to see me no longer as an expert, but a learner just like them. Together we discovered how to navigate through the new technology resources provided to us, and on many instances my students became the teachers, when helping me with how to troubleshoot various issues and how to use certain technology resources. In addition to fostering their growth in academics, I also hope to encourage my students to be responsible and contributing members of society who are committed to helping others who are less fortunate. Lastly, as a Catholic school educator, it is my responsibility to help my students deepen their relationship in their faith and to expand their knowledge of the Catholic social teachings. Part 2. The Ideologist. I am blessed to teach at a school that embraces technology integration in the classroom and does its best to provide the resources, technical support, and professional development necessary to help me develop my skills as a 21st century educator. I do not consider myself a technology expert. Instead, I describe myself as a technology expert in training. As a technology expert trainee, I have experimented and learned about environments, teaching methodologies, and resources that I would want to implement into my ideal 21st century classroom. The classroom environment sets the stage for student learning. I believe that it is my responsibility to set clear expectations for my students with regards to academics, conduct, and effort in order to create an atmosphere that emphasizes a strong work ethic and respect. Music plays an important role in the classroom by helping to set the stage for a high-energy learning environment. Similar to my current classrooms, students will be seated in cooperative learning groups with one-on-one iPad. We will have access to an iPad charging station, wireless printer, copy and scanning machine, smartboard, and Apple TV. In my ideal classroom, 3 groups will use stand-up desks, while the other 3 groups will use the traditional desktops with stationary bike chairs. Since my students use a station rotation model, they will have access to both types of desk arrangements during the period. Traditional desks and chairs will be available for students that require accommodation. I would like to continue my use of the blended learning station rotation model in my classroom and also incorporate flipped classroom lesson at least 3 times per week. One of the rotations will be used as a guided practice or cooperative learning project based on the flipped classroom lesson from the previous day. I'm also very interested in implementing Google Classroom and its associated apps within my teaching methodology. Finally, I would like to create and keep a teacher blog to help me self-reflect on my successes and failures as a 21st century teacher, and hopefully interact with other educational professionals for feedback and ideas. With regard to the curriculum, I will continue to help strengthen my students' mastery of the ELA Common Core through the use of digital anthologies and a variety of different educational resources that we are currently using. My students will continue to develop their speaking, writing, listening, and collaboration skills through the use of writing and presentation software, such as Quill, Prezi, HaikuDeck, TouchCast, Keynote, and Storyboard. In an ideal classroom, educational technology resources will be available specifically to help my English language learners with English language acquisition. In my ideal classroom, students will also have the opportunity to use social media, such as Twitter, as part of the curriculum for literature and writing responses. My most ambitious goal is to integrate coding within the language arts curriculum. Coding will be part of the station rotation model at least 3 times per week. The advancements in educational technology are continuously changing. However, the advancement that I look forward to experiencing the most is the use of virtual reality in the classroom. Part 3, the pragmatic. Based on the narrative for my ideal 21st century classroom, I have selected 2 technology goals that I would like to implement within the next 3 years. Goal 1 is to implement flipped classroom lessons at least 2 to 3 times per week during the language arts curriculum. Goal 2 is to integrate coding within the language arts curriculum. For the year 2016 to 2017, I've created my goals for the year. Goal 1 is to create 1 to 2 flipped classroom lessons per month, with focusing on figurative language. And goal 2 would be to enroll in an online coding class, and to at least complete the class. For the year 2017 to 2018, Goal 1 is to create 3 to 4 flipped classroom lessons per month with a focus on language, specifically grammar. And Goal 2 is to create 1 language arts lesson every trimester that integrates a coding activity. Here's my 2 goals for 2018 to 2019. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and if you're interested in learning more about my views on education, please follow me on Twitter at MsAnnalisa226. Thank you.